Time. For most beings in the universe, it's a straight line, forward, unbroken, and merciless. But for one man, time fought back. It started on a calm day in Metropolis, where the sunlight shimmered off steel towers, and people moved in their usual rhythm, unaware that history itself was about to collapse. High above the city, Superman hovered silently, eyes fixed on something unseen. His enhanced vision detected an anomaly, a rift, thin as a hairline crack, stretching through the sky. Not a storm, not a portal, but a temporal fracture. Then, everything stopped. The birds froze mid-flight. Cars hung motionless on highways. A single drop of rain stopped halfway down a window, and Superman was alone. For the first time in his life, his heartbeats echoed louder than the world itself. He could move. He could think. But the world around him had turned to stone. He called out to the Flash through the Justice League communicator. No response. He tried again, this time pushing his voice into the radio frequencies. Still nothing. That's when he realized even sound wasn't moving. Time was broken. And then came the light. A streak of gold, cutting through frozen air. It moved faster than thought, leaving behind trails of electricity. Superman's eyes narrowed. He'd seen this before, the Speed Force. But this time it wasn't Barry Allen. It was something else. Something alive. A voice whispered through the static. Fragmented, distorted, yet powerful. He doesn't belong here. Superman turned toward it. But before he could react, a surge of energy wrapped around him. Every atom, every molecule vibrating beyond control. Then boom, the world around him shattered like glass. He fell through colors, through lightning, through time itself, seeing moments of his life collide in a single instant. Krypton's explosion, his parents' faces, Lois's smile, every victory, every loss, all at once. When he opened his eyes, he was standing on a storm. Not clouds, but currents of pure motion. A horizon of lightning stretched endlessly. Silhouettes of speedsters flickered in and out, their faces blurring like ghosts. Superman had entered the Speed Force, the impossible dimension that defied time, space, and even death. And deep within, he could feel it. This place didn't want him here. Every gust of energy pushed him back. Every spark burned through his cells. His body was built for solar energy, not this. Not raw kinetic chaos. He clenched his fists, teeth gritted, cape whipping violently. He could feel his molecular bonds unraveling. Every second here was rewriting his biology. But Superman wasn't just any being. He pushed forward, step by step, through storms of pure time. He had to find Barry. He had to understand why the Speed Force had reached into his world. And as he moved deeper, voices began to whisper again. Thousands of them. Run. He's slowing it down. He doesn't belong. Superman realized something terrifying. His very presence was weakening the Speed Force's flow. He wasn't supposed to exist here. He was a foreign body inside time's bloodstream. And if he stayed too long, the Speed Force itself might try to erase him. But leaving wasn't an option. Not until he knew who or what had pulled him in. And then, through the lightning storms, he saw it. A red blur, kneeling, shaking, surrounded by arcs of wild energy. It was Barry Allen, the Flash, trapped inside a time loop, reliving his final run again and again. Every step, every scream, frozen in infinite replay. Superman's eyes widened. Barry? But the moment he reached forward, the Speed Force reacted. The lightning turned crimson. The ground vanished. And Superman was dragged deeper, into the heart of motion itself. And that was where the real fight began. Lightning tore across an endless horizon of motion. Each bolt screamed with the memory of 1,000 speedsters who had run before. Barry Allen, Wally West, even Eobard Thawne. Echoes of their speed carved into eternity. Superman floated between them, his body flickering like a dying star. The Speed Force wasn't space. It wasn't time. It was both and neither. And within it, the laws of reality bent, twisted, and laughed. He was out of his element. Here, strength meant nothing. Speed was everything. And yet, he pushed forward. Every movement sent shockwaves rippling through the field. His molecules struggled to stay intact. His Kryptonian cells, fueled by sunlight, were now being bombarded by tachyon storms. His body wasn't adapting fast enough. The speed force whispered again, in 1,000 overlapping voices. Leave, you slow the river. You burn what must flow. You were never meant to run. Superman clenched his fists. I don't belong here. I know that. But I'm not leaving without Barry. A flash of red lightning surged ahead. Superman moved toward it, slower, heavier, like wading through gravity itself. He reached a crystalline plane, shimmering with scenes from every point in time. Barry Allen's face flickered across it. Running, falling, dying, running again. Superman touched the surface. In that instant, his mind was flooded. He saw the Flash trapped in an endless circuit, a race he could never finish. A punishment, perhaps, or a balance the Speed Force demanded to keep the timeline alive. Every time Barry tried to escape, the loop rewound. But there was something else. Something watching. Through the storm, a figure emerged, the Black Flash. The embodiment of death within the Speed Force. A reaper of speedsters, a living correction to the flow of time. His hollow eyes glowed with infinite decay. And when it looked at Superman, the Speed Force itself recoiled. You do not belong, it growled, its voice dragging through eternity. You are a weight on time's current. You will drown. Superman's heat vision flared instinctively, cutting through arcs of lightning, but the blast was swallowed by the storm. The Black Flash blurred forward, faster than thought, striking him square in the chest. The impact sent Superman spiraling through entire centuries, through memories of battles, of worlds long dead, of Krypton's final scream. He crashed into a thundercloud made of raw time energy. His skin flickered transparent, his atoms shifting between seconds. For a brief moment he wasn't here. He wasn't anywhere. But his will remained. Superman roared, forcing his molecules to stabilize. He pushed against the current, drawing on the solar reserves burning within his cells. They weren't meant for speed, but they were meant for survival. He charged again, through waves of electricity, through walls of memory, through time itself. The Black Flash struck again, claws slicing through the Speed Force's surface, leaving trails of black lightning. Each strike made Superman weaker, slower, closer to dissolution. But then, a spark appeared beside him, bright, human, desperate. Barry Allen. His voice cut through the storm. Clark, stop fighting it. You can't win by force. Superman turned, relief and shock colliding. Barry, you're alive. The Flash was half-transparent, his body flickering between existence and energy. Barely. The Speed Force trapped me here. Every time I try to leave, it resets me. But you're breaking it apart just by being here. Superman looked around. The lightning was destabilizing, rippling outward. The very fabric of the Speed Force trembled. You mean I'm destroying it? Barry nodded grimly. It's trying to erase you to survive. But if it fails, it might collapse, and take every timeline with it. The realization hit harder than any punch. Superman had the strength to destroy worlds, but not the right to risk all of them. The Black Flash screamed, the sound of entropy itself. Leave or cease to exist. Barry grabbed Superman's arm. I can help you escape. But you have to match the current. You have to move like the Speed Force, not against it. Superman hesitated. I'm not fast enough. Barry smiled faintly. Then don't run alone. He extended his hand. Lightning bridged between them, red and gold intertwining, forming something new. The Speed Force resisted. Time convulsed. But for a brief, impossible instant, Superman began to run. Every molecule of his being aligned with the current. His cape became a streak of crimson light, his body vibrating beyond sight. Together they ran through infinity, faster than thought, faster than light, faster than destiny itself. The storm screamed. The speed force shattered around them like glass. And beyond it, Superman saw the real world, flickering, calling him back. But before they could reach it, the black flash appeared one last time, blocking the path. His claws pierced the current. One leaves. It hissed. The other stays. Barry looked at Clark, a calm resignation in his eyes. You have to go. The world needs you. I'll keep it stable. Superman's eyes widened. Barry, no. But before he could argue, Barry shoved him forward, using the last of his speed force energy to hurl Superman out of the current. The world went white, and when Superman opened his eyes, he was falling. Through the skies of Metropolis. Through sunlight. Through time reborn. But something was wrong. The world around him wasn't quite right. Everything was moving slower. Superman stood, breathing heavily, looking at the skyline. And then he realized he was still inside the Speed Force. But this layer was mimicking reality. Prison disguised as freedom. And this time, there was no Flash to help him out. Metropolis shimmered beneath a false sun. The people walked, the cars moved, the wind blew, but none of it felt alive. Every sound echoed too perfectly. Every motion repeated like a scene caught in a glitching loop. Superman floated above the Daily Planet, scanning the city with his heat vision, X-ray vision, even microscopic sight. But all he saw were constructs of light, hollow replicas molded from Speed Force energy. He wasn't home. He was still trapped inside. A simulation of time, built to keep him from tearing the Speed Force apart again. And for the first time in years, Superman felt truly alone. He called out, "Barry, can you hear me?" No answer. Only the faint hum of static electricity dancing across the sky. Then came a voice. Faint, disembodied, echoing through the lightning. "You are not meant to run. You are meant to end." The sky turned red. Bolts of lightning stitched through the clouds, forming a face. Fractured, monstrous, and infinite. The Speed Force itself had taken form not as a being but as a judgment. Superman's eyes glowed red. "I didn't choose to enter you. You pulled me in. Because you slowed the flow," the voice thundered. "You tried to save one life and risked every era. You are a constant. And constants don't belong in motion." Superman clenched his fists. "Then erase me. If that's what it takes to save the multiverse, do it." Silence. And then, laughter. "You misunderstand, Kryptonian. Erasure isn't punishment. It's balance." Suddenly, the false city began to unravel. Buildings dissolved into streaks of light. The ground beneath Superman's boots vanished, replaced by raw energy. His body started breaking down again, phasing between moments, flickering between existence and memory. But deep inside, a voice echoed. Barry's voice. "Don't let it control you. Time doesn't define who you are. You do." Superman remembered those words from their first mission together, when Barry once told him, "Speed is trust. You have to let go of control to move forward." He closed his eyes. For once, he stopped resisting. He stopped fighting against time, and instead he flowed with it. The moment he did, the lightning stopped burning. The Speed Force around him calmed, curious, uncertain. Superman's molecules aligned again, this time not tearing against the current, but moving with its rhythm. He could feel it, the pulse of time, every heartbeat of the multiverse, flowing through him. Then, in that endless moment, Superman saw everything. The beginning, the end, every timeline, every crisis, every death and rebirth. He saw himself as a child on Krypton, as a hero on Earth, as a legend far beyond it. He understood now the Speed Force wasn't trying to kill him. It was trying to teach him, to remind him that even a god of strength must sometimes surrender to motion. The red lightning dimmed. The voice softened. "You have learned, last son of Krypton. You have seen the truth. All things move, even you." Superman floated there, glowing with both solar and speed force energy. Then let me go back. Let me protect them. You will, but not unchanged. A golden bolt struck his chest, merging into him, coursing through every cell. His heartbeat synced with the flow of time itself. The next instant, the world shattered, and Superman exploded upward, breaking through the illusion, tearing through the currents of motion, and bursting back into reality. He gasped as air filled his lungs. The real metropolis shimmered below, alive and moving. The clock tower ticked again. The world had resumed. He looked at his hands, still glowing faintly with gold lightning. The speed force residue. A gift. Or maybe a mark. He could feel time differently now. He could see the milliseconds between moments. He could sense the movement of electrons, the delay in sound, the heartbeat of the world. Then, a voice buzzed faintly in his ear. Clark, you made it out. It was Barry. Weak, distant, but alive. Superman smiled. You're still in there, aren't you? Yeah. But don't worry. I can handle it. The speed force is calmer now. It knows you're not its enemy. Guess you survived the impossible again. Superman gazed at the horizon, the golden streaks of energy fading around him. I didn't survive it, Barry. I understood it. A pause. Then Barry's laughter, faint and proud. Guess the Man of Steel just ran with the gods. The calm line went silent. Superman closed his eyes, feeling the wind brush his face. For a moment, everything was still. Not frozen, not broken, just balanced. The world spun and he moved with it. As he rose into the sky, his cape flowing behind him like a comet's tail, one last spark of golden lightning danced across his emblem. No longer bound by time, but forever changed by it. And somewhere, deep within the speed force, a whisper echoed, "The Kryptonian runs again." Superman had survived the impossible. But he knew the speed force was alive, watching, waiting, and one day it might call him back. Because even for Superman, time always runs out.